I kind of want to get going. You rolling? All right, man, this is exciting. We're starting production on From War to Wisdom, Day 1, Shoot 1. Josh, please state for the record your full name.
Joshua R. Heisel.
Place of birth.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Underwear size.
Large.
All right, man.
Are we live?
We're live.
Dude, could you match my lackadaisical carefreeness?
Sure, yes, sir.
What's going on? Be the one, Dan.
Freaking daggone.
Alrighty. First question. So from what I hear, it's just like Call of Duty. Now, tell me a little bit about when you deployed. Tell me a little bit about where you're from, where you grew up. Yeah, where are you from?
I guess I'm supposed to say something, huh? Fuck.
What were you fighting for?
What did we fight for? That's a good question. I don't have that answer.
And dude, if I'm going down paths that make you uncomfortable or that
I won't say anything I don't want to say.
Can you not put that in either, dude?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I've told this story hundreds of times, but it's different every time I tell it, I swear.
That's good.
Dude, I'm here. I'm enjoying. I'm having fun right now, man. So let's keep it going, man.
All right.
I wanted to be a Marine since I was a kid. I mean, I always did. I have papers and stuff from like 5th grade where I'm writing about being a Marine. Yeah, my grandfather, Walter K. Heisel, was a Marine in Korean War. And I always wanted to be a Marine ever since I was a child. I always look at my papa's pictures and stuff, and he'd tell war stories. And something very romantic about it. I don't know. You know, growing up, you see it on TV, you play these games. Just want to do it, you know? You don't realize what it really is. I was 19. Yeah, I think I was 19. Because I turned 20 a couple days before I left for boot camp. So I knew I was 19 when I swore in and stuff. When 9/11 happened, I was at work when the towers got hit, and I left work and went and joined the Marines like right then and there. It was just an instant decision, and honestly, I didn't give it a lot of thought. I just did it. You know, there were some other guys down there too that were the same thing. It was kind of this generation of guys who were like they want to kick somebody's ass. I don't know who, but everybody wanted some payback, I guess.
I think people who join the Marine Corps are a certain breed of people, man. I would read books about like the Marines on Peleliu, or what they did in Okinawa, the whole Pacific campaign. Really, these guys are some fucking hard men, and inspired me. I was like, I wondered if I could be that hard.
I always wanted to be something bigger than myself. I always wanted to be the best and be in the best. I wanted to be in the Marines. It's the best branch. I wanted to be a grunt.
Physical fitness of the United States Marines is traditional, yet even the high bodily standards of our leathernecks is being stepped up these days to meet new demands of modern warfare.
The only thing I really knew about the Marines is they were supposed to be the toughest, they were supposed to be the hardest, you know. They had commercials of them slaying dragons.
I want to be the best. so part of me was like, I'll be a Navy SEAL. And I realized I'm not too good of a swimmer. So I joined the Marine Corps, I volunteered infantry.
My recruiter was like, what do you want to do, as an enlisted person? I was like, well, obviously infantry. I want to, blow stuff up and kill people. Why would I join the Marine Corps to do other stuff?
Well, the Marine Corps is legendary for being badass, man. I mean, every major battle in the history of all of our wars, they've taken people down, man.
We learned by fire real fast, even while we were in training. You're taking 18-year-olds, and then by the time they're 19, they're all marathoners and capable of hiking large amounts of goods through mountain passes, and employ weapon systems. There's a big change in such a small amount of time.
It was just always something that I knew I was going to end up doing at one point in my life.
Now we're going to war. Hopefully it holds out till I can get there, right? That was my train of thought, dude. Hopefully it can hold out till I get there.
The gears of war began turning, and so everything changed. There was something palpable in the air. Everybody knew that something was coming. We were going to war. We didn't know what kind of war. We didn't know how long it was going to last. We didn't know if we were even going to fight it. We might just have been flown into Kuwait, rattled our saber, and then got to go home. Nobody knew, but we were going, and we were going now.
Rock and roll.
Hey, quit your line gag and get your stuff and let's go. Welcome to Kuwait.
This is as real as it's gonna get. In fact, it's worse because we can't see the enemy. Good to go? Nobody gets off the bus.
We left in late January and arrived in Kuwait in buses. They bussed us out in the middle of the night, like 3, 4, 5 hours out in the middle of the night into the Kuwaiti desert. We finally roll up off of sandy roads to this one generator just in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there's nothing. And we get out and they tell us to unpack, and we're just bivouacking here tonight, and we all just kind of set up a fire watch, and we wake up under like 6 inches of sand. A sandstorm comes in the middle of the night and buries everybody while they're sleeping. Welcome to the fucking suck. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden we can see around us, it's morning time, and there's just nothing but sand, slowly rolling sand. For as far as you can see, we didn't know where we were at. They were like, we're somewhere in Kuwait.
Does anybody really know where we are? Do you guys know where we are? Which way is Iraq? No.
And then it wasn't until later that after we dug into fighting holes like World War II all over again, but thank God it was sand to dig in, we realized that we were like 2 clicks from the border. We were staring at the Iraqi border just waiting to go, and that's where we spent the first month. And it still hadn't sank in. Nothing had happened yet. You weren't really on edge. It weighted us to death. That'll make somebody go stir crazy. It's like, we're over here for a war, and then they just park us over there. Hurry up, get over there. And then they're like, all right, now we're just gonna sit here, and we have no idea what we're gonna do and when we're gonna be doing it, by the way. So, and that'll drive a man insane.
Oh, Blakely, that looks like a little bit of heaven there, huh?
You don't even know, Mike. Don't even know.
Where'd you get that from?
First sergeant hooked me up.
Your sergeant did that?
He did.
Glory be to the devil dog who drops the pot.
Huh? Seems to be the most critical piece of tackle equipment you have here, First Sergeant.
Yeah, exactly.
Think about it. You train to go do something, you want to do it, right? So we're excited. And we sat in Kuwait for a couple of months. I think it was a solid 2 months. And it got to the point where it was a whole lot of poker and checkers and really nothing you know, gas drills, but no, it turned into this like, you know, very complacent thing where we were just kind of camping out, you know, in the desert.
Mr. Al-Duri said Iraq was committed to abandoning banned weapons and accused the United States of possessing ulterior motives.
I think we shouldn't be over here unless we're going to go across the LD because, I mean, we're shock troops. We're not people to stand here and just sit here because that's just not what Marines do.
No, gas masks suck, but...
What we try to tell the Marines, what I try to tell the staff NCOs and the Marines directly is, it doesn't matter what our politics, what's happening politically or anything. The only thing that matters is what's happening to our company today. So shake it off and let's get our heads in the game. That way we can all come home. We're just another chapter in a long legacy of, you know, great Marines doing what they had to do, and it's our duty to not to drop the flag, so to speak. And they understand that, and that's part of being a Marine. It's taught since recruit training. Every unit you go to has a history, and they'll always tell you, we have to, you know, keep our legacy strong, keep our honor clean, so we can pass it on to the Marines that come behind us. The Marine Corps is built to fight from the fire team level up. My position as first sergeant in this company, I work on leadership because if we can build them into strong leaders, then all those bad decisions or less favorable decisions will start to just drop off. They won't exist because they'll take the time to think about their Marines first, and then they'll make better decisions. So I want to develop their maturity as Marine leaders.
Fox 2-5.
We were attached to second tanks, and they could bring cool stuff over in their tanks. And somebody had a guitar.
I wake up, but I don't know the date. I just know that I'm in northern Kuwait. But later on, after the attack, we're gonna get online and police call Iraq.
There's this motto in the Marine Corps: when we're not killing, we're chilling. So we sat out and would like write songs about how hot it was and how shitty it was. And we had this little talent show in the desert. And first sergeant comes up and tells me, you know, you're gonna do something tonight to represent Fox. So I did, and I won the freaking thing.
Thanks a lot, Fox. Thanks everybody else.
And then one night, man, about 2 a.m, they just were like, freaking, let's go, boys.
You've waited your whole Marine Corps career. Some of you only been a year, some of you it's only been 2 years. Some of you Devil Dogs it's been longer for this moment right here. Don't screw it up, you understand what I'm saying? You've trained so hard to get to this point. Now it's time to go do what we trained to do. Check. Let's go get some.
All of a sudden we're invading Iraq and we're going through them and you're like, oh, here we are, like we're here. And of course we're expecting D-Day, you know what I mean? Just bullets. And as we went up the country there through the south, it was just white flags. That was it. I mean, there were whole units surrendering. It wasn't until around the Fertile Crescent when we got out of the desert and into some foliage, we got attacked, you know, by Republican Guard. Saddam's good, you know, elite. They weren't very elite. I mean, we trashed them pretty quick. we'd get hit by somebody, we'd buckle down, and you know, our Cobra helicopters would just cut them to pieces, and we'd move on. But you know, April 4th, that was the day it all got real.
Morning, Frank. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Getting cleaned up for the big town?
I can't wait. Big day is coming and here it comes. I want to get this stuff over with. This is our last step, Baghdad, so there ain't much to go from there.
This is a long trip, but I tell you what, it'll be worth it when we get up there.
Think it's gonna be easy or tough today?
Can't say. Wish I knew.
Yeah.
Even the Magic 8 Ball doesn't know.
Even the Magic 8 Ball doesn't know.
Yesterday was a little wild, wasn't it?
I had a little bit of fun yesterday.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's always good to know that you're the good guy. So, as long as I can go home with that, I'll be a happy man.
Let's go, get him loaded! Hey! Get the fuck out of the way! Fuck out of the way! Get the fuck! Oh! Get out! Go, 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 go!
Within minutes of leaving our lines, we were hit again. For the third straight day, we're taking contact from a main Iraqi brigade stationed on the main road leading into Baghdad. We only have 32 miles to get into Baghdad. It looks like we're going to be fighting all the way up.
We were driving down the road and we got hit by this like piss shooting couple guys. And we all got out and we're trying to find them. It was 3 dudes. And I was a designated marksman at the time. So I lay down and I find this guy running and I pop a shot off and I hit him. And he fell down. And he, you know, crawls in the doorway, whatever. I thought I missed him. I really thought I missed him. I thought he just, you know, dropped. And I find out, you know, a couple hours later, the snipers went out and said, "You got that son of a bitch." And I remember I was like, stoked, but at the same time it was like, damn man, I fucking just killed somebody. You know what I mean? I just killed this guy, and I don't know him. I don't know what he looked like, how old he was. You know, maybe he had liver cancer and I put him out of his misery, but doubtful. You know, I killed a fucking kid. You know, just like me. So whatever, we move on, and there's not really time to process that shit. You go, all right, cool.
Good job, good job. Any fire report, window, aperture, opening. Go ahead and recon by fire.
We move on, we got ambushed hard. And First Sergeant Smith got killed. And that was all of our hero. I mean, this guy he made us what we were. He got us ready for this fight. And to see him get killed, this invincible force, was fucked up.
I don't know what's going on, you know, I'm just getting through the day. You know, fucking shooting at, you know, anything that pretty much moved half the time. When he got hit, I mean, it rocked my world. I heard, you know, you hear the radio call, you know, Fox 8 hit. And like, all I could say was just, you know, fuck. And I'm sitting in the Humvee and I look in the side mirror and I see them carrying his body on the stretcher and they're taking him to the helo.
The helicopter's blowing everybody, all the wind and dust around, and it was kind of a sandstormy kind of day, and there was still smoke and stuff from invasion fires and, you know, things burning around us, BMPs, the smell of flesh in the air.
that was tough to see. 'Cause I didn't know who it was at first. And then, especially when I look back, for a man that was a mentor to me, and just, I mean, an amazing Marine. And the last time I ever got to see him was in the side mirror of a Hummer on a stretcher.
There was no grieving time, you know. We had to keep going. We had a job to do. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I think our first sergeant would have been proud of us. So we had to push on after that. The war became real.
That was it, man. Everyone was like, shh. And you saw it. No one was smiling. Nobody was dicking around. And everybody got very, very serious and very, very old very quickly.
For me, it ended up becoming over the course of the weeks and months, it became like a symbolic thing for me. Our figurehead, you know, the top of the pyramid was knocked off, but, you know, everybody just, like nothing happened, just filled right in and just took over, and it just kept running like the machine that it is. I mean, it's closest thing I can akin it to is like the phalanx in ancient Sparta, when they moved as one unit, and no matter what happened, everybody knew everybody's job up and down the chain of command.
Oh, goddammit, give him a fucking stick. Look at me.
You know, if it ended up being a private in charge of the entire group, he knew the job. And that's what made it so special for me personally, and for the Marine Corps as a brotherhood in general, and the armed forces in general.
I just will never forget that day. I mean, because the events that evening piled on and piled on and piled on. It seems like once that domino fell, it didn't stop. We just got shit on for the next, 2 months until they surrendered completely. But it's funny because in relation to the romance of being a kid and wanting to go to war, and you really want to go. You think you know what you're talking about, but until it happens, man, you don't know. And when it does happen, it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, man, I shouldn't have done this. This isn't for me, But that's not the scariest part. The scariest part is when that feeling goes away and you start to like it.
Then next thing we know, we're in Baghdad. And that's like, never thought in my life I'd be sitting in Baghdad. And, we obviously, we met resistance, but, nothing stopped us.
We were there for them. They waved at us. They chased us. They loved us. We literally set them free,
We went in with a mentality of hearts and minds. No better friend, no worse enemy. And we truly embodied that, I feel like. We said, we are here, we're not here to oppress you. Like, we're just gonna keep ourselves safe. And other than that, like, if you want to, work with us, we will help schools, we'll help your children, we'll help you get food, we'll help you get water. We will do anything and everything we can to help you. But if you come against us, you cross us, the iron fist comes down, and there is no half measure. We will obliterate you.
Marines don't fight for an administration or a country or a flag. Marines fight for Marines. And that's why we're so successful.
We believed in each other. Everybody had each other's back. It was a new experience for everybody involved. But we knew that if we were there together, we would conquer it, because nothing could conquer us. So you get out, and you go back home, and that support structure is gone. The support structure of your friends, your brothers, all of a sudden it's just gone. And because I think we were the first ones over there, we didn't realize that things would be different. It's like you walk into civilian society, and you just don't get it anymore. It just, like, does not compute. What are these people, like, would they give a shit about something? I mean, it's like, just a little while ago, like, if I was alive at the end of the day, and I wasn't bleeding, and if none of my buddies, that was a good day. And if there was food, +1, you know. If there was a working fan, I mean, you're set, you're living a life of luxury. You're general American, the general civilian, never had to make a sacrifice for what went on over there.
I'll never fault a man, and I'll never weep for a man who died doing what he chose to do. If you're doing what you love and you die doing it, then God bless you and hey fucking men, you know what I mean? Isn't that the way you want to go out? My biggest issue that I found was handling Marines that survived.
When I first got back from Iraq, you know, I expected to be different. You know, I expected if you go into a combat zone, into such a high stress, high, you know, adrenaline, everyday type environment, that when I came home, it was going to take a while to kind of readjust back to relative safety. And you know, I thought maybe, hey, 6 months, a year after getting home, maybe then I'll start to be more like the old me. And, you know, it took a few years to really realize that that's not going to happen.
It was like, what did I do over there? Why did I do this? You know, and you try to regurgitate this information to your loved ones, and that's where it all kind of went downhill. Your family and your friends, as much as they love you, they just don't understand, you know?
If I had a chance, would I do it again? I would do it all over again to be able to be there for my brothers. Would I be there for political reasons and bullshit and the lies that we were told? No, I wouldn't be there. But would I be there for Josh, for Langley, for First Sergeant? Yes. Heartbeat.
After the first tour, I got home and got married right away. We'd been planning it through letters throughout the war. I threw on my dress blues, got married a couple days after I got home. And then when we found out we had to do a second tour in Ramadi to kick these guys back out of there, we'd lost control of it and got all fucked up again. I had a son at this point. When we got the call to leave, it was down to the wire on the birth date. Like I was deployed 2 weeks after my son Holland was born. Throughout the pregnancy, prior to his birth, I was training new Marines, kids who just gotten out of infantry school, you know, just like I was a year and a half before that. And that was hard because I'm looking at these guys and I know that I was the same idiot that they were. Didn't know anything, you know, about war, about anything. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm training these guys, you know, half of them are gonna fucking die. You know, and I'm watching the news, and you saw what was going on in Fallujah, Ramadi. It's like, you know what you're dropping into. And you try to tell them that, you try to train them for that, but it's a tiny city. So you're not gonna like avoid shit. Like, you're going to Ramadi, you're going to Ramadi.
The company I went to was called the Blackhearts. That was our nickname. In boot camp, you learn general Marine Corps knowledge, right? And you hear, okay, 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines is the most decorated unit in the Marine Corps. All right, so I find out that I'm going to 2-5, and I'm stoked, dude, you know? There was a legacy. These dudes had just got back from the invasion. So these guys had all been in the fight, and we're just these young infantry Marines who were like, this is what we signed up to do. So these guys were like our heroes, right? And being Blackhearts, they instilled an ethos almost into us, and they made us earn that title. And I think that's why we functioned so well when we finally got into Ramadi, because we had this identity as Blackhearts. And that's who we had to live up to.
Some folks are born, made to wave the flag. Ooh, that red, white, and blue. And when the band plays Hail to the Chief, ooh, they point the cannon at you. It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no senator, so it ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one.
Where is God? Where is God? Please, please, Zahat in the please. Why? My husband, why?
Some folks are born.
When we left the first tour in Iraq, it was parades. It was people thanking us, and we were all throwing up peace signs, and you know, this thing was over, and the people were kissing us and shit, like, you know, liberators. When we got there to Ramadi, the combat outpost, and the guys we relieved, they'd been getting their asses kicked for about, 6 months. They didn't even have advice for us. They just were like, get me out of here. So we went out a couple patrols, and I don't know if they hated us or if they were just scared shitless. But it wasn't like when I left Iraq the first time. When I left the first time, it was like, you were getting hugs and kisses. This time, it was we'd walk down the road, everybody went in the house, locked down. And we'd get hit, we'd get ambushed. And that's just how it was.
When we were over there, it's like, just because this city is quiet right now, it doesn't mean anything. This city will pop off in a heartbeat, man. In a fucking heartbeat. It just turns like that, and it feels like the whole city's on top of you.
Whoa! How about that shit?
Oh shit, that guy's down, man. Holy shit.
That is the motherfucking window that saved my life.
Fuck, man, I don't even know how to explain it because I don't want to use too strong of words, but we just fucked people up. I mean, it just was crazy. We had a license to pretty much do whatever you want.
star-spangled eyes. They send me down the wall. And when you ask them, what shall we give? They only tell you more. I said, it ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no senator, so it ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one. It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no millionaire, son. It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no fortunate son.
Marines are killers, man. That's what we are. We create hellfire. That's what we do. That's probably the biggest mistake we made is sending 100,000 Marines to police Iraq. You don't send killers to keep the peace, man. You don't.
I ain't no fortunate one.
I'll never forget getting hit, and they told us, we've got 2 different rooms, all right? One room is for people that are gonna live when they're injured, and you bring them into that room. And the gym is expectant. Gym means you ain't gonna make it. And the first night that we brought guys back into the expectant room, the screams from that room, that's when reality sits in. That guy's not gonna pull through. That was the same guy that the night before I was up on a turret with, you know what I mean? And I mean, where is he gonna be tomorrow? And that's really the first death. The first death is when it really sinks in.
My thoughts out here really are just, this is my job, this is what I do. If I die, I die. It's simple as that. I basically have told everyone back home, until I come back home, just consider me dead. This way, and that's how I operate out here. I keep going, take a route ahead. I went to the ground, pulled me back, looked at myself real quick, make sure I wasn't bleeding, kept going. And that's what you gotta do, you gotta keep pressing, not only for yourself, but for the platoon, for the company, to finish the mission. So out here, and so, you hear the things whizzing by you, things are blowing up around you, but it's instilled in you to continue on, to not falter. It's just second nature for us.
That pile of dirt, I can almost guarantee you that was an IED. You've been driving down these little back roads, you've got all these different alleys. Anytime an RPG gunner can pop out and just hit us with one. This is the ghetto OP here. Yeah. Go. Right here. Now we're going to that wall over there, right?
Man, I've been trying to get a Frisbee for fucking since we've been here.
Well, I'll tell you what, when we left the first time, I never thought I'd be coming back. And when we left, it was pretty peaceful. And when we came back, it was crazy. So, I don't know, I'm actually having a ball, but it's a little different. This time I left a wife and a kid, whereas last time I left a fifth of Jack, This time, yeah, I'm definitely watching my own ass a little bit more. Just because I want my kid to have a dad. I don't know, I'm pretty psyched to go home and get out of the Marine Corps, but now we have time to do things like this, what we should be doing. Help these people out, boost their morale, boost their confidence, so they can help us finish this thing off. Because that's what it's going to take, is the Iraqi people to help us.
Back home, back home. Back home where I belong. Back home, back home. Back home where I belong.
The first day back in the States, there's signs all over the highway coming in through Fallbrook. Welcome home 2-5, welcome home 2-5. There'll be somebody's name or something like that, you know? They hold this formation. We march up there all super motivated. Everyone's marching in time, calling like that old drill instructor cadence, you know? And raggedy ass camis and shit. And people are taking pictures of us. And that's like actually one of like the proudest I've ever felt my entire life, man. Coming back and everyone's like cheering for you and shit, you know?
What a great day.
But after a couple days of being home, it's like, well, fucking now what? You know what I'm saying?
Man, you should have known. You can't go home. You can't go home. You're smiling like roses, but you're made from stone. You can't go home. You can't go home. You're living life lovely, but you're on your own. You can't go home. You can't go home again. Love, you're so lovely when you're on your throne. You can't go home. You can't go home. You wanna keep writing, but the light is gone.
This is my area. It's not insomnia, it's duty. That's what I say. I stay up so that I can watch the whole complex go to sleep, and then I can go to sleep. Sitting on my porch, man. This is where I go every night. You gotta have a spot you can retreat to. It's gotta be your spot, you know, where you're kind of in control, you know. And most of the guys I talk to, they have that same shit, like their basement or their fucking backyard or whatever. You gotta have a place to decompress every day. Because at the end of every day, I'm full to the limit with stress and whatever. You have no fucking idea what it's like to not be able to sleep, man. It wears on you, and you start to go, I'm a burden to my family. I'm a burden to myself. I'm a burden to everybody. I should just fucking shoot myself. I don't know, man. The long arm of the American government. That was me. That's who I was, man. I was the fucking judge, jury, and executioner. And I didn't like it. I still don't like it. But I don't regret it.
I feel like there's a part of myself over there, you know, and that's why I went back after my first combat tour. When I decided to go back, I felt I needed to, man. I still feel that whatever it was I was doing over there, it's not fucking done yet. I mean, I'm home and I know I'm not getting shot at anymore. No one's like really trying to kill me, but I don't think you can ever really, I don't know, man. I don't think anybody ever really comes home.
Being unarmed bugged the shit out of me. I had to have some kind of weapon nearby. I couldn't sleep. Falling asleep was this ordeal. I'd be tired and I'd lay down and I'd lay there for 2 hours. My mind would just go and go and go.
The biggest hurt for me was, you know, I've ruined people's lives. I arrested people that I didn't even know were terrorists. You know, I took fathers away from children. I took children away from fathers. And not only that, but I permanently took children away from fathers. You know, I mean, we pulled the fucking trigger. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know, a killer's a killer, period.
So the first few years were tough. You know, I spent a lot of time drinking. You know, I got into trouble with the law, you know, and I spent a little time in jail. And for me, it was basically, you know, coming out of jail and getting into the VA and realizing, you know, the way I'm doing it's not working, you know.
When I first got back, you know, I had a lot of rage issues. You know, my first apartment that I had, there were so many holes in the walls, you know, just trashed my car. I punctured the tires on my own car one time because I was pissed off. Dented, you know, the side of it, broke a window. I broke my own bones, pulled a shotgun on a neighbor one time, spent, you know, almost a night in the custody of the Long Beach Police Department. I just, you know, I struggle with rage in a big way, and it ruined relationships for me and strained other relationships for me and put me to a place where I kind of did draw off by myself and get very alone and lost contact with all but a couple of people.
I've been on 32 different types of medications, antipsychosis to heavy narcotics, tranquilizers, all the way down. The pill taking point was my low. I mean, you know, that's when I actually put a bullet or a gun in my mouth, you know? Loaded up a Glock right in front of my wife and, you know, told her, this is it. I don't have anything else to live for. And, you know, it's then that, after that moment, the look that I've seen in my wife's eyes, I've never seen before. And it was a look of, you know, of her being scared. Never seen her scared before, not like that. And never forget, took that right on out the mouth. And haven't done it since, you know what I mean? And from that moment on, you know, I realized I need help.
I didn't want to be defined as, you know, a Marine or combat Marine. But what I realized after 10 years is that is a part of you, and it does define you. And it's something that for a long, long time I tried to put in the background, shake off, whatever you want to call it. And it was a real moment, actually, a real moment of clarity for me. Not too long ago, about a year ago, speaking to a Vietnam veteran who basically said, son, that never goes away. That's just the way it is. You're gonna have to learn to deal with it.
I got out of the Marines Thanksgiving Day of '05. You're at home, you're safe, and you're sitting there with your kid and your wife, you know, and it was really over.
That's my mom and that's you.
I saw the man on his worst day, and you know, I'm glad I did it because now I know exactly what to teach my son. You know, I know exactly what to tell him, and I know exactly how to treat him when, you know, when he wants to go do that crap, you know. And I can write music about it, and I can. I suffered a little bit, but I can help a lot of people, I think.
And he said, boy, all you can do in this life is survive, and that ain't no lie. So go home now and tell your mama you love her. Grab your lady and hug her and stay.
Towards the middle of that tour of Ramadi, I started to really have an issue with the way we were handling things. The interruption of people's lives, I had a huge problem with. If you start bitching to your men about it, you're just a useless squad walking around. So I'd use my guitar as an outlet, you know, to bitch and complain about the way things were going. And this way, the boys aren't hearing me talk trash about the war and about the administration we were under. As we would get hit really bad or lose someone, or someone would get wounded, all this music became reflective suddenly. The funny stuff ended just immediately. That's when I became a songwriter right then and there. I started playing music with a local band, just having fun. And I was getting ready for a gig in Cincinnati. And I get the phone call from Mike Saray, and he was a journalist that was embedded with us in Iraq. And he called me and said, hey, you know who Neil Young is? I'm like, yeah, I know who he is. So he's like, I'm doing this movie for him, CSNY Deja Vu. And he's really into your music and stuff, man. He wants you to come up and play with him and stuff when he comes through town. And I'm like, what?
Here's the man. Oh, hey, Josh. I recognize you. Give it up, big guy. How are you? Good to see you. Wintertime.
Yeah, he's feeling good to be back home for a while. And
yes, I'm doing well, taking it easy, adapting.
Good. Yeah, really. All right, let's do it.
The reason we did it was to shoot this documentary, CSNY Deja Vu. We did Sundance together. We did a couple other shows that, you know, and it's just been going on ever since.
Hey, it's a real pleasure for me to introduce this friend of mine, a guy that's in our movie, Deja Vu. He's a soldier that was in Iraq twice. He's a songwriter, and he's here tonight to play for you. His name is Josh Heisel, and he'll be playing with his accompanist, Jennifer Wheatley. So how about a big hand for Josh and Jennifer?
Hi, I'm Josh. This is Jennifer. Wow. We're just gonna get right into it, okay?
My words are strictly confidential, but I have yet to hear them rhyme. I'm sick of calling this essential, 'cause I've done it all and I've seen too many die. And if I'm wrong, then let me die a traitor's death. And if I'm wrong, give me a gun, a bullet, a magazine, I'll lock and load and do it on my own.
And what happened was, once we started hitting the road, started sharing this music, I suddenly became this guy that all these vets wanted to talk to. We'd have all these vets in the crowd, and they'd be talking to us afterwards about how we keep them, you know, we're keeping them alive, or you know, they can listen to our music and be all right and feel all right, and they can relate to everything. So it just turned into something real powerful, man. And then when once that happens, man, once you decide that you care about these people, you're married to it forever, you know.
Give me a gun, a bullet, and a magazine, I'll lock and load and do it on my
Great job, man. Great. All right. Beautiful.
After Josh got out and he started getting, you know, a little famous, touring with Stills and Nash and all those guys, CNN did a piece on him, and he was singing it. I think that song was Traitor's Death or something like that. And CNN was doing this piece about, you know, just the whole anti-war thing. And I'm still in, man. I'm getting ready to go back again. And I saw that shit and I was like, fucking Heisel, dude. Fuck that guy, dude. How could you do that?
If you want a man to fight, you must first tell him what he's paid. Then tell him with this uniform you're surely to get laid. And teach to him the gospel, it's a sin not to be brave. Bail me out, or someone bail me out.
I was so mad at him for like the longest time, dude. And then I came across some of his other, I think it was that song Bail Me Out. And this is a fucking pretty righteous song, man. You know, and especially after I got out and started looking at things more objectively. And you know, I started I pretty much agree with him.
It took me several friends and combat tours to figure out that they don't give a fuck about the bodies in the ground. But they build us marble statues and parade us on the town. Bail me out, or someone bail me out.
My biggest hope is that people can listen to my music and see a painted picture of A, what you're gonna have to do if you go over there, and the things that you're gonna encounter, and B, what you live with for the rest of your life after you do it. If you can listen to music or watch a film and educate yourself and know these horrors of war without having to go do it. That's the mission, man. That's the mission. My pleasure, man.
What a perfect night for Josh Heisel to be sharing his music with us. Make welcome and celebrate the 4th of July with Josh Heisel.
would flicker and go. But when I heard the growl of your engine, I opened fire for my men. I opened fire for my men. Now I'm a killer